Hey everybody, Danielle Hargenritter here, co-writer of Love, Forgive, Never Give Up, here today to bring you another interview in our 33 Days of Love Challenge interview series, where we are bringing you interviews that are showing you how people have taken love to help, used love to help them take the next level in life. Excuse me, my blood sugar is a little low. For those who know me know I have type 1 diabetes. So today I am here interviewing Asha Brown. Hi Asha, I'm so excited to have you with us today. How are you?
Hi, Danielle. I'm happy to be here.
Yay, I'm so happy to talk to you. So I'm going to read her bio very quickly, and we're going to get right into Asha's story. So Asha Brown, she is the founder and executive director of We Are Diabetes. She was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when she was 5 years old. And throughout her childhood, diabetes was simply a way of life because her father had type 1 most of his life as well. The obsession with maintaining a healthy size and weight, while coping with multiple autoimmune disorders, including hypothyroidism, polycystic ovary syndrome, as well as type 1 diabetes, became a full-time job for Asha during high school and college. And through her struggles of recovering from diabulimia, now Asha works with families, patients, and health professionals across the USA. And through We Are Diabetes, she uses her personal experiences with ED-DMT1, which is also known as diabulimia, to offer hope and support to those still struggling, and establishes relationships with eating disorder facilities and diabetes organizations across the county or the country to help connect people to appropriate care. So as I stumble through your wonderful bio.
It's a long bio.
Long and impressive though. So why don't you just share with us a story about how love has helped you in your life? Because reading your bio and also knowing you very well, I know that you are a love-centered person and you probably have a lot of stories. So I'm excited to hear which one you chose.
All right. Well, I thought about this, and you and I were just talking a little bit beforehand how love, like real love, it's not just fuzzy rainbows. It's hard sometimes. Love and loving someone can be hard, and opening yourself up to love and choosing love is not it's not a walk in the park all the time. And so I'll preface the story by saying that based on my bio, everyone knows that I struggled for quite a third of my life with an eating disorder. And along with that, I lied to myself and to everybody else, including all the people that I dated up unto my now husband. When we were dating, I talked about my struggles as if they were in the past, because at that point, I like to say the monster was in the cave. So people with an addiction kind of know it ebb and flows, and it gets really bad. But then sometimes there's a geographical change or a relationship change, and then it kind of dissipates, and it's not like front and center in your life, and you think it's over. So I was like, oh, that stuff is behind me now. I'm better, and I'm in love. And so I talked about my struggles as if they were over, because I really thought they were. But obviously, when you don't really deal with an addiction, it just hides and waits to pounce. And so after he proposed, which was a wonderful surprise, and I accepted, obviously, right away, we got married and we moved back to where we now live in Minnesota. It's where I grew up. And my eating disorder came back with a vengeance. It was the worst it had ever been, because I now had to do a day job, and I was performing at night, and I couldn't handle it. And I was doing 8 shows a week, and it was a musical. I was dancing and singing, and I was getting really sick, and I couldn't handle it. And I was so ashamed that I hid all of this from my husband, Danny. I didn't want him to be disappointed in me. I was disappointed, and I really, as addicts do, thought I could somehow get it under control. It would just go away, or I'd fix it, or I'd always gotten out of it before I could figure it out. And that did not happen. And so, I'll skip over a few things, but basically my reputation in the professional theater world got really damaged, and I had a contract for a show, and that contract did not move forward. And I finally was ready to start thinking about treatment. But I also didn't think I was sick enough. I was like, I'll just go to this assessment and they will put me in therapy. And I was smart enough at that point to know that I would not go to this appointment that I had made unless someone was coming with me. But because I didn't want Danny to know about the appointment, I asked my dad. And that was great, because my dad, even without me telling him every detail, could understand, because he's lived with type 1 now for 47 years. So he drove me and we went, and it was a 2-hour appointment, and I, as much as I could, shared what was going on. It was very uncomfortable. And after the assessment, they said, well, we would like to admit you today. You are very sick. Your A1C is 16, and we do not want you. And A1C is, it's a way of monitoring your overall blood sugar for people that don't know the language.
And just to put it in a real quick other perspective,
yeah,
they prefer it to be 7% or less. So imagine
Right.
Asha hearing is 16, more than double the amount that they recommend.
Right. That means I was close to being ketoacidosis all the time. I was allowed to go home and get like some clothes, because we didn't plan on me just jumping into treatment. And I was so overwhelmed, and I think I was still in a little bit of denial that this was happening. And it almost seemed like it wasn't happening. And then I ended up there. My dad he helped me get my stuff. We went back, and then I was there, and I was like, oh my God, I have to tell Danny, my husband, I'm not coming home tonight. I'm going to be in a treatment center.
Wow.
I don't know for how long. So I texted him before they took my phone away, and I was like, I'm going to be in treatment for a while. I'm sorry I didn't tell you. Yeah, it was really not a suggested route of communication. But basically, I'm so afraid of being judged and being a disappointment that I didn't tell him in enough time. And what is much worse for someone is to find out all of this stuff and not have any idea that it was going on. He felt foolish, like he should have known, but I was a really good liar. I'm a good actress. So like I, had done a great job of hiding my shit, and I always had great excuses for, why I was eating in the middle of the night. And so he was furious, and it was to the point that he didn't visit me for the first week that I was there, which there was rapidly everything in my entire life was unraveling, but not having him there felt like our marriage wasn't real, and that hurt. But I understand he didn't know how to process. We were in our first year of marriage. When he finally did come, he told me, he said, I am not going to be in a marriage and watch someone slowly kill themselves. I'm not. So you need to figure this out. And that was the hardest thing I've ever had to hear. And I don't think I've cried that much or that long in my entire life. And I thought he was being so mean, but he wasn't. He was giving me what I needed, and that nobody had given me yet. And they gave me a tough love, like the truth. They gave me the truth. And so Danny was brave enough to tell me the ugly things that didn't sound good to say, but he loved me enough to tell them to me. And honestly, after that, I was like, okay, this is going to suck. This is really going to suck. I am going to just do this and hope that he still loves me when I am like, when you're recovering from an eating disorder, all you can think about is how you're going to be 300 pounds when it's over, And so I was deathly afraid of weight gain and just being ugly and having my entire life be awful for the rest of my life. And I said, he's not going to love me that way. But that didn't happen, because that's not what happens when you recover. And he gave me the reason to ignore all of the sounds from my eating disorder and just do it.
Wow.
And that is true love.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even, it's even hard to react to, because it's such a beautiful story of truly finding someone that is allowing you to lean into them, and also saying in a way that you need to hear it, I love you, but if you're not willing to love yourself, I cannot continue to love you, because ultimately that's kind of what was said. And that's not only is that brave, but that's so truthful and real, and what people need in their lives. So I've been lucky enough to meet Danny one time, and he's an incredible guy, and I'm so grateful for him, because you're one of my closest friends, and you wouldn't be here. We would never have met. You wouldn't be working in the diabetes space doing all this incredible work that you do now to help other people who are in recovery through your own experiences, which just turned into this beautiful love circle of love. And it's just amazing. So just to kind of bring it all together, if you had to boil all that down into one lesson, or maybe one sentence even, I don't even know, but like one kind of solid thing to take away, what would that be?
I think the lesson that I got from it is, if you want real love and you want to be truly loved, be raw, be exposed.
Yeah.
And it's not easy, but once you do it, it gets a little easier. And then you've made that choice. You can't really go back. Like, they've seen you. So then you deal with it. And then what happens is you release and you relax, and then you're just living the truth all the time, you know? So it's a horrible beginning and then a beautiful ending.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like growing pains. You have to kind of wade through the BS to get to the beautiful sight, you know, at the end of it. And I totally agree. And I'm so thrilled that you were willing to be open and raw and share that story with us, because it's a wonderful story to hear, and I'm sure incredibly inspiring for more people out there than just me, because I know other people who are inspired by it. It's just it's incredible, and I'm grateful for you and for Danny and for you to sit here and share the story with us today. So thank you to Asha, and for everybody else out there watching. We are doing this interview series to give a little bit of background on a book project we are working on. So if you want to find out more about the book, which is all about love, you can go visit loveforgivenevergiveup.com and find out more. And we will see everybody on the next interview. Take care.